far.
10 seconds.
You can see this distribution we have formed, and we have something dropping in about 10 seconds. So watch your positions, guys. Watch your positions. Whoa.
50.8, 50.8, low and forecast to 53.5. Currently.
That's a thin market. Look at the dome, guys. Look at that thing whipping around.
Expectations 46.5.
You gotta be very careful with that. Darian, good afternoon.
7.3%, 7.3%.
Watch your positions, guys. Very thin. We do have a nice distribution forming. We'll see if we continue to flesh it out or move on to another value area. JJ, that was lucky. Could have gotten the opposite direction. Could have stopped you out and then wicked the other way. It's so thin. So thin. And the slippage you'll get on these guys, it's awful. With a stop, not the limit order. Okay, let me get this going here.
NVIDIA says it is not sending GPU designs to China after reports of new Shanghai operation, according to CNBC.
I'll let this settle down a little bit before we take any trades here. All right, so let's take a look at this market. So, you know, kind of crazy conditions. All right, it looks like we were having a nice upswing set up, and this thing flushed to Hades, and I'm going to go over that here in a couple minutes. Right back down to initial balance high, back into value, all right, where we held upper band, back to VWAP, lower band. We got some price discovery here. We got this back test. The extension, upper band, went higher and then flushed. This is a beautiful VWAP bounce here at around 9 a.m. That went up almost 70 points. And now we're trading completely in value here. All right, we've built this distribution on the volume profile. You can see this nice distribution we've formed. All right, we're trading right in the middle of it. Point of control is at VWAP. This is a good spot for the advanced playbook. VWAP scalps, point of control scalps. Okay. So last night, guys, I took my first big L in the last month or so, over a month. My first red day in quite a long time. Let me show you what I saw. So it was, let's see, this is 8:20 p.m. All right, I'm getting ready for bed, and I take a look at the charts, and look what I see setting up in NQ. All right, I see this beautiful price discovery long setting up. You know, let's end the day. Let's get a nice long. All right, so I go long here. I take 2 minis to start, guys. I'm high conviction. I'm up really nice on the week. I'm up over 20K on the month. Let's go. Right? And this is what happens. Here we go. Boom. Right there, I added at VWAP. Okay? So I have like 4 or 5 minis. All right? I'm just looking for a nice little bounce here. I'll get out for a nice scalp. $500, call it a night. Right? Beautiful. This is what happens. Right? There's some accumulation going here. Right? Okay, I'm liking it. Look, oh. All right, that flush right there, guys. This flush was so fast and so violent. All right, it hit my max loss in my liquidation account, right? For $4,000 and $700 in slippage. So, dang, right? So, you know, it locked me out for the day. Let me actually go over this with you guys. I'll go over my stats and statistics here. This is in my cash account, guys. This is real money. right? So hold on, let me log into my cash account here real quick. Okay, here we are. Trade select trading mode, live account, right? Let's go over to my statistics here. And let's go to this week now, right? So luckily, I'm still up over $2,200 in the week. Okay, so even though I took that big loss, I'm still having a nice green week, couple $1,000, not as nice as it was. Right, and for the month, I'm still up over $15,000. Okay, so I basically gave up the last 2.5 days. All right, as traumatic as it sounds to take that kind of loss, guys, it is completely manageable. All right, and that is why I have a liquidation in my account for the worst case scenario, right? Let me show you my risk settings on my live account, right? My daily loss is set to $4,000, right? And it liquidates me and locks me out so I can't trade again. So I'm currently locked out of the account, can't trade again. Now, why do I do that? Because my initial reaction, guys, is to get that money back, right? The emotions of taking a big loss, giving back my last 2.5 days of really nice profits. I mean, almost $5,000, guys, right? I want to get that back, and I want to get it back now or even this morning, right? So it locks me out and prevents me. It's a cool down period of at least a day to let me collect my bearings, right? And get back to it on Monday, right? Because now it's the weekend, so I can't trade again until Monday. And, you know, I'm still up $15,000 in the month. And $4,000, guys, you've seen my daily P&L. You know, I can make that back in 2 or 3 days. So the plan is to come back on Monday and trade like normal. De-escalate the emotions, all right? Move on. I'm still up nicely. Trade like I always trade every day. And it's just back to it. So hopefully this is just the one red day in a series of many, many, many green days. And we'll just keep trading here. So I wanted to share that with you guys. What I did wrong was too much size in Globex. I almost always don't trade Asia. Right? It's just not great for my style of trading. You know, I need more volatility. I like better liquidity and narrower spreads. Okay, so I have no business sizing up here, guys. This was not typical for me, and when I veer from my plan, this is what happens, right? So we gather, we rebase, and we get back to it. So I'm still up 15K in the month. That's only 2 weeks, guys. 15K in 2 weeks. That's good. I was up 20K in 2 weeks. That's even better. You know, so I'm almost $5,000 poorer right now, but it was all profits. So of course, guys, you know, if there's one thing, you know, this looked like I said, if we go back here, guys, this looked like a great setup, right? Let's take away all the high, you know, let's take away what's going to happen, right? From my perspective, this looked like a great trade, at least up to this extension. And then if I added at VWAP, I could probably almost expect at least to travel back to upper band. I can get out for a nice scalp. That's usually what happens. That's not what happened. And, you know, it cooked me. So that's that. So that's it. That's the last I'm going to talk about it. It's over. I'm going to watch the market with you guys. We're going to trade today. And Monday, I'll be back in my cash account looking to trade as usual.
After reports for new Shanghai operation.
Okay. Richard, good morning. MK Cryptos, how are you doing? Loading failed. Yeah, of course. You know, if I'm not being transparent, guys, like, you know, what am I even doing? Right? It's trading is my career and my livelihood first and foremost. Okay. So this whole community and teaching thing has to come second to my trading. So I have to trade well. This is how I pay the bills. This is how I, you know, I feed my family. This is it. So you know, I have to perform, and I have to perform well. I don't have a choice. I don't have a backup job. The community doesn't make enough money to even pay my mortgage, so it's not a thing. All right. No, I don't, B-Bomb. I'm actually very happy with where we are. That was not a ploy. I'm going to put a tip jar in the Discord. Some Discords have that, a tip jar. No, there will be no tip jar. I'm already annoyed that when I go to buy a sandwich and all they do is ring up my order, they're asking for a tip. I'm already annoyed at that, so. Of course. You know, and it's not easy, guys. I'm not always proud of the decisions I make, right? I'm not proud of that trade or how I managed it. I'm just not, right? And the image I'd like to portray is this guy who just makes great decisions all the time, green every day. Wouldn't that just be lovely? But that's not real life, right? It's not real life. Anybody who seems like that on social media, I almost guarantee they're lying. I can't imagine anybody is that infallible. Exactly, Ed. All right, so we are still in a balanced market. We're going to break out of this one way or another. Be careful with your fade trades. Sooner or later, we're going to go and we're going to break out of this. So be prepared. Trade your fades of the value area extremes until there's a contextual shift. Doesn't always happen fast. Sometimes it grinds out. A lot of selling coming in here. But like always, it's a fade until it proves otherwise. Now, at one point, we're going back to the well too many times, right? And we got to wait for this thing to break one way or another. Yep. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Dinesh. And yes, oh, sorry, guys, I'm missing, yeah, Bob. Dude, so guys, the community that I used to teach in Warrior Trading, that's how Bob Burner knows me. They charge like $3 to $5 grand. And it was an annual membership, and that's all there was. Now, Ross is probably one of the top names in trading education. Yep. Yeah, I used to teach for Ross. I've actually been flown up to his office in Massachusetts. I traded live with him in person. He paid me to write a course for Warrior Trading, so I have quite the history with Ross Cameron. He doesn't do futures, though, and when I floated the idea of offering a futures education, he was not into it. He does what he does, and he does it really, really well. All right. I do accept DMs, Ed. Yes. At least for now. I mean, at one point, it's probably going to get crazy if we continue to grow at this speed. Ultimately, I might not be able to handle all the DMs. But as of right now, I'm still responding to everything. Yeah, Logger, and that's trading. Trading profits. He makes millions from the community as well. That is one rich dude. He is a fantastic trader. I think he does trade a style that's compatible with futures. It's momentum trading. So absolutely. I think it's completely compatible. And Logger, you know, he has so much money now that he can trade like that, you know, like the more money you have, the easier, if you're a good trader, the more money you have, the easier it becomes. Unfortunately. Like trading in, you know, I have a 40K account now in futures, guys. This is by far easier to make money in than when I would operate in a 10K account or a 15K account. It's just the way it is. You have a lot more room to make money with. He's so good. And most people can't duplicate what he does, you know? He also has the benefit of getting in first. And then an entire room following him in on a low float stock. I mean, just throwing that out there. But that's a thing. There was the fade again, guys. I mean, I said it. This is a fade until it's not. And it's going to keep doing what it's doing until we have a fundamental break. Contextual shift. Eunice, yeah, I like Top Step, man. I think there are, he's asking, I think I forgot to record. Let's see, hold on. Yep, I forgot to start recording. Oh, well. I suggest Top Step for a prop firm. I think they're well managed. I think they have great customer service. I just think they're a very reputable and established organization. So do they have the best, you know, everything? I don't know. I know they're well managed. I know they're established. I know they're credible. So I think they're great. I would steer clear of Apex and any of these prop firms that are brand new. Anybody who has a history of not paying out traders would be a red flag in my book. I don't care how cheap or how attractive their rules are, or how many accounts you can trade with them. That's nonsense. I'm using, this is their downloaded software. But to be honest, I don't notice much of a difference between this and their web-based application. I really don't. Let me hop into my sim. We'll just try and take some trades here. And that trade I took last night in Globex was on my phone, guys. No tick strike. None of my usual tools. On my phone. In bed. Yep. Yep. Not proud of it, guys. Not proud of it. Not proud. But it's the truth. All right, we got some buying. Let's see if they can break out of this distribution. Again, it's a fade until there's a shift. There is a lot of buying. It's very strong. There it goes. Let's see if it goes upper band. Or it just gets rejected here. They're trying. Seems like they're propping the bid a little bit. All right, looks like they're trying to grind it out. I got to take that one, and then I'll reposition here at the upper band. This is the fade value or extreme setup. Still a setup, unless it can prove otherwise. So what we're watching is up here now. LJ Biz, it was a price discovery continuation setup is what led me to take it. So it was right here, right there. This was the long I took. And you can see what happened. Did not work at all. There we go, baby. Repositioned up there. Still have two. Take one more. See if we can hold a runner to VWAP. Now this is value area high right here. It might hold. We'll see. See if we can go back to point of control here and VWAP. I used to have a Top Step affiliate link. They actually took it away. They like canceled all their affiliates. And now they only work with like a select few. That was the only affiliate link I had with a prop firm. So I don't have one, but I do have one in Tick Strike. And it's in the tools section. And I would recommend it. I mean, if it's in the budget, I recommend it now. However, it's cost prohibitive, then, you know, you could do without it. So it's really based on your resources, to be honest. I don't want to overextend anybody. You can learn. Look at that. Beautiful. Out of that trade. So that was our value area extreme setup, right back to VWAP point of control. So that's a hard trade to take because, you know, it extended beyond the distribution, which it can do. So we have this large area. So, you know, it's hard to scale into this one because it's so wide. It's hard to know when you're wrong. So I got out and I got back in as we approached the band. And that worked out nice. All the way back to point of control. Oh yeah, I see that. So we bounced off the point of control on the Globex volume profile too. Yeah, good call. Yeah, it is OPEX, guys. Options expiration on the month and on the week. Double expirations. This causes generally All right, so that was a good trade. We got one good trade in our hat so far. That was a fade value area extreme. So fading the edge of the distribution, the value area high, back to the point of control. Let's see what we get next. We still have very choppy conditions. VWAP and point of control are completely overlapped. Nice, JP. Okay, I wouldn't take this again unless we went a little higher, maybe upper band. It does look attractive because we are sitting at value area high right here. But I don't know, there's a lot going on here. We're above, we've been chopping around upper band on the week here. You can see that. Very choppy at this level. So we'll watch this upper band, and then we also have this value area high level right here. So both good fade locations that need to be broken before we get price discovery to the upside. And even then, you know, 500 is going to be, you know, the edge of the distribution. You know, there's quite a bit of upside here as they test the top side of this, the auction from the last 2 days, essentially. Okay. Let's see what we get next, guys. This is still acting very fader-esque. You know, you know, I still like it short. See what it does. It's just being sold into, and the volume is, yeah, there we go. This is still fade value area extreme on this distribution. Nice entry by me. That was literally right at the value area high. Let's see if we get some follow through back to point of control. There we go. Boom. All right, back to VWAP. See if it holds. Feels heavy. $1,600. Oh boy, heavy selling. Yeah, they just got they certainly got run over. I didn't see lots of buyers. I mean, I saw lots of buyers on this candle, right? This big run-up candle, but then we had nothing but selling afterwards. Last 10 minutes. So this 1 5-minute candle is actually the only green candle on the cumulative delta. So that looked like just a little bit of a short squeeze. Okay. High volume selling, guys. High volume selling. There's the initial balance is set. Do like shorts here, but I also don't like shorting into lower band, so I'll have to wait for the price continuation setup. I'm not buying this again. Not on this cumulative delta chart, at least.
That's according to his roll call.
So we'll see what we get. McDaddy, that clicking sound is tick strike. That is the buyer and selling pressure on the time and sales, the tape, in an audio tool. I do, home broker. It's in the course. It's definitely in the NQ Addicts course, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I put it in. I forget. Yep, we got IB. Kevin Hope, this is a community script. You got to go into the community scripts and look for NOM VWAP bands in the community scripts. So you go to indicators and you go explore community indicators and you'll find that NOM VWAP bands. You can add it to your trade of 8 chart. Appreciate you guys joining me on YouTube. I do stream for the most part of 30 minutes of the 10 a.m. hour. I stream till about 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the premium Discord. There is a free 7-day trial to the Discord. You guys, anybody can come in, go through the entire VWAP Wave course, join the live streams, our group coaching sessions for an entire week, absolutely free. And then it's just a small monthly fee. Well, I guess that's subjective. Some people think it's small, some people think it's expensive, but to each their own. All right, Tony, have a good day, man. I think it's good value. I paid way more. I paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars for community memberships. I've dropped thousands of dollars for annual memberships. But I regret nothing. Everything has gotten me to where I am today. Yes, you get the entire course in the trial. So you can literally take the trial for a week, go through the course. If you like it, great, stick around. If not, no harm, no foul. I don't know how many people give their entire course away for free. Tick Strike is half off for the next 2 days. That's awesome, Jody. Where'd you see that? Looks like we're going lower. We broke it so far. We're going to hit these lows here at 362. Sure feels like it. I like this low volume area we put in right there. Lower. Beautiful. Lower. Come on. Lower. I gotta stop in there, break even. See if we can get another push down. Yes, thank you, LJ Biz. Yep, absolutely. I do have a lot of conviction. I think it's great, and you know, people that appreciate it do, and you know, for some people it's just simply not their cup of tea, and that's fine too. Hence the free trial. You know, I'd rather people check it out. If they like it and it fits their trading style, great. If not, you know, they didn't lose anything. So that process is much easier for me. I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to convince anybody. I don't have to do refunds. None of that stuff. I think we're going lower, yes. I'm still holding 1 mini here. Tick strike is lighting up like a Christmas tree here. That was nice. All right. I caught about, I don't know, 20 points there, about 100 ticks. Right here, I covered into the lows here. So, you know, we might bounce here, we might not. I don't care. I scalp my trade. Man. This would have been nice to trade in the real account, but. So it's only natural to get some buyers here at the lows. You know, it's probably going to bounce a little bit before we go lower. People are going to cover. Shorts are covering. Buyers are buying. It's an obvious spot. So after we break, I scalp by getting in on the offer. So as as price is pushing down, NQ naturally fluctuates up. You know, it's stopping out trailing stops in the algorithm. So I get in on the offer as it goes higher for the next fluctuation down, and I just add and get in and out like that. You can see my executions right here in the chart. $390, $386, $383. One of them was a loser. The other 4 were winners of my contracts. All right, so if we're getting the next push down, you know, get on the offer, just like that. I'm in. Get out on the bid, just like that. Boom. See that? And we're performing a distribution here. So you get in on the ask up here, get a good fill, and then when it goes to test the point of control other side of the distribution, get out on the bid, and you capture that entire fluctuation. Yeah, it's like a momentum trade. Yes, absolutely. Except I don't buy market momentum trades. That's how I get stuck with a really bad price. I wait for the little micro pullbacks. Get in on the bid or the offer, depending on which way we're going. In this case, it's the offer. And then as it pushes down again, you know, it fluctuates a lot, as you can clearly see. And if you time it well and get in at good prices, you can clip out nice profits. And I do that a lot when we're moving in the direction of the move. But it's got to be relatively early on. And this is where I use tick strike for consistent and constant pressure. That's what I want to see. You can see it's lighting up like a Christmas tree. All the stocks in the index are red. Everything is just Sellers galore. Now we can do this for a while, just like we went up for a while the last 2 days. You know, this can push down for an hour, 2 hours. Just controlled selling. Nice, Darian. Good job. Wish I could say the same. Yeah, on the weekly, yeah, look at that. Could be a lot of downside here, guys. We've been due for a pullback. I mean, look at this daily chart. It's crazy. We have so much downside for a healthy pullback in this. Wild. Long overdue. Nice, home broker. Yeah, that's great. Good action, good price action so far today. We got our balance market, fading value area extremes. We got the contextual shift. Now we're in price discovery to the downside, at least on the execution chart. We're going to run into a little bit. So these are the lows of the session here. This is yesterday's initial balance high. Let's see if we have trouble. This is also a low volume node yesterday and the point of control from 3 days ago right here. So, you know, we could melt through all of this, guys. Just because they're there. This is the type of selling pressure where things just melt through every level. So be careful buying anything. Tick Strike is not a Ninja plugin. No, this is floating on my screen here. It's its own application and download. And I just put it over my screen. Let me give you guys a link here. Yeah, this is the kind of selling that's just relentless, guys. Good stuff, man. Now we're hitting lower band on the Dow, ES, price discovery. We're not even down all that much. We're down spot 3 on the NQ. That's nothing. We can accelerate from here. Yeah, that's great. 3 days in a row, 45 minutes of trade. I mean, that's typically where I like to be. 347. Wow. All right, so when it does stuff like this, this is a good play. This is a good opportunity to short the pops. Because buyers are going to chase this. Boom. Beauty. And people are going to be looking to get involved on this way down. So So Wesley says, I seem to keep failing my trades when I trade the VWAP setups. Can you explain when I should enter? I mean, that's not an easy answer. I mean, I have a 8-module multi-hour course dedicated to that question. I have tons of videos, hours explaining that stuff. I can't just answer. That's not a, there's no simple answer to that question. It's a lot more sophisticated than just buy here, sell there. All right, we're gonna come up to this low volume node right here. This is turning into a vicious short squeeze. Reclaims this entire 5-minute candle. I don't use any of the lagging indicators, home broker, because that's just based on previous price data. Doesn't take into account volume, which is really important to me. So I've seen it. I know what it is. I don't use it. No. I don't use RSI. I don't use moving averages. Chuck has been very quiet this morning, Eric. I don't think I've heard him at all. All right, we're about to reclaim this whole candle. You know, we'll see if we get a price continuation short. I mean, this is, you know, a 60-point move here, but, you know, I do kind of like it, guys. Short. So we'll see what happens. I have some profits to play with. I'm up 3K. I can play around a little bit. Try and scale into this here. Okay, there's lower band. Come on now. Push that sucker down. There we go. Yes. $73 maybe. Okay, that's a price continuation short of lower band. ES is already at point of control and above the band. Let's see. We get some continuation to the upside. I'll put a stop up here. See if we can get a movement. I'm in at 86. Short. Here goes. Yeah, Wesley, there's an entire course in the free trial on all of the nuances of the VWAP Wave trading strategy. Advanced setups are in module 5. I'm putting them there manually, Sabri, so no. If I were using a bracket order, then yes, but I'm not using a bracket order. I place everything manually.
It sets up with Trump's roll call. It looks to be a little bit outdated. There's a live video of him only, well, this is supposed to be him visiting Moses Ben Maimon synagogue at the Abrahamic family house in the UAE.
All right, return to value.
It's not clear as to if that schedule that is there is kind of up to date. We'll keep you posted if we do see a video of it, wherever he may be put out the feed. But we're just keeping an eye on this feed. Just double checking if it is actually him live or not.
Good job, Jody. We'll be here on Monday. We have Q&A on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you're able to make it. So bring your questions. So it looks like we have a bit of a return to value set up, playing out. Let's see if we get a little bit of a back test. I'd hate this to be the just the ultimate rejection here, which it could very well be, but we'll see. Nice. So if you saw that, guys, I got in on the bid as we went to back test. Oh man, this would have been great in the real account, huh? That would have put me over 10 G's on the week. Oh well. Here we are. Nice price action so far for scalpers and even short-term trades. So I have no directional bias one way or the other right here. This is an inflection point. If we continue to go up, this would be a real return to value. So we'll be back in balance. This would be a spot also to reject and go back down. So we'll see. Yep, ES is at VWAP. VWAP bounce on ES. But the VWAP really isn't that attractive for a VWAP bounce here because it just came back so fast after such a huge sell-off. That's not ideal, but it could work. Okay. So ES already, for you guys in YouTube, ES already hit VWAP. Okay, so ES and NQ tend to trade together. So NQ might not get to VWAP because ES already hit it. Right? ES already there. Now it's selling off and NQ is going with it. If you're not watching ES and NQ together, you're missing out. All right, back under IB and value area low here. Kind of choppy. Did reclaim that. I like the short. A little bit of a battle here. Well, that might have been the actual back test. We'll see. I might have to cut this one. well, get back a little chunk on that. Still up 2,600 bucks though. You gotta top tick me out. Thanks, Richard. Have a good weekend. We'll be here on Monday. Hope to see you. Guys, I'm going to shut down the YouTube here. We're going to keep trading in the Discord. If anybody would like to join the Discord, there is a free week trial in the description of this stream. So come join us. You can use the weekend to go through the entire course. Lots of great information in there. Course is completely free. Check it out. Hope to have you on the group. We'll keep trading for at least another hour, guys. So for those of you in the Discord, we're going to keep on trading. For those of you on YouTube, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll be back on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to have you. Have a great weekend. If you're going to continue trading, manage your risk and stay sharp out there.